Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are really excited for this video today. As we have been talking about the previous weeks, we're focusing on prime movers. We've went over the topic of stabilizers, and we're talking about prime movers now. So the prime mover we're going to talk about today is the six-pack, which is also called the rectus abdominal. So let's talk about it. So the rectus abdominal, or the six-pack muscle, is one of the most sought after muscle group, but it is not as important as many people shoot it out to be. Granted, it is critical. It's absolutely important. So I'm going to explain to you what I mean by it is not the most important in terms of your core muscles. Now, I've talked about it, and I say it in every video. The most important core muscle is the transverse abdominal. It's the muscle that's connected to the rib cage, it's connected to the hips, and it's also connected to the spine via the fascias. So that is the most important core. However, the abdominal, or the six-pack, in this case, is very important. It's a very important muscle. Before we talk about why it's important, let's look at the anatomy. How is it located, and how does it function? So as you can see on your screen, the location of the insertion and the origin, which means that where it starts and where it stops, is the rib cage. We have the rib cage. Also attaches to the hips. There's a strip of connective tissue in the middle called the linea alba. Now, this is where it all meets up. Here's why this is so important. The reason why this is important is because if you know how the muscle is attached, you know how it functions. As you see, the main point of this muscle is attached to the hips and to the rib cage. So what does it do? It does this. It folds your rib cage to your hips, like so, like how you're doing the sit-ups, crunches, all that stuff. All right. So why is this muscle sought after so much? Because it's a very appealing muscle, and everybody wants to look good on the beach and so on and so forth. Chicks dig it, so why not, right? So I'm going to show you how to develop this muscle properly. Now, the exercise I'm going to show you guys is an exercise that some people say is not good for you. It's bad for your neck and all that stuff. But the problem is that a lot of people are doing it incorrectly. And instead of teaching people how to correctly do the exercise, people are telling people that it's a bad exercise. That's not true at all. The exercise is actually a very good exercise, and it's the best exercise for your rectus abdominal, your six-pack. All right, so here's the exercise I want you guys to do. The exercise is called a sit-up, all right? Basic sit-up. Crunches, I would not recommend crunches because it doesn't activate the full, it doesn't get into the full activation of your rectus abdominal. As you can see, your rectus is attached to your hips and your rib cage. So if you want it to fully contract, you have to get your rib cage as close to your hips as possible. And what does that the best? Sit-ups. All right, so as you can see on your screen, here's how you do your sit-ups. You want to make sure first and foremost that your lower back is flat on the ground. If your lower back is flat on the ground, you're in a good position for your abs to fully engage instead of your hip flexors. Now, for those of you who do not know, your hip flexors, they engage by bringing your thighs to your chest, or it can bring your body, your torso to your thighs. But there's a certain way to activate the hip flexors, and there's a certain way to activate the rectus abdominal, the six-pack. If your lower back is flat on the ground, it puts your rectus abdominal in engagement first. So the key thing is whichever muscle is engaged first is the one that's going to be performing. So once you curl your back, make sure your lower back is touching the floor. Your rectus abdominal engages first, and because you do that, you move the hip flexors out of the picture. So when you're doing sit-ups, make sure your lower back is flat on the ground, engage the rectus abdominal, and then sit all the way up. Now you can do it with the leg flat, feet flat on the ground, with your thighs close to you. All right. Now doing that way makes it a little bit harder because you're bringing your torso closer to your thighs. That gives your six-pack a much greater contraction. So that makes it a little bit harder. So if you want to start at first, make sure your leg is out flat. If that becomes too easy, then you want to bring your thighs closer to you by putting your feet on the ground. You can put it far away first and then bring it closer to you, inch it closer to you as it becomes easier. All right? So this is one of the best exercises when it comes to the function of your rectus, abdominal, or your six-pack. So if you want the six-pack to be popping, you want to make sure you do the exercise properly. All right, engage that six-pack properly. Now, if you actually want your six-pack to be shredded, that's something you do in the kitchen. All right, that's something you do with exercise and minimizing your calories. We're not gonna talk about that today. That's for another video. All right, but that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you guys really enjoyed this information and you now understand why sit-ups is so great for you and it's not bad at all. All right. So before I go, I want you to subscribe. I want you to like, please like for the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe, because there's so much more information. I put out videos every single Wednesday for you to know more about your body and to get better and get in better shape. So I want you to subscribe. I want you to like. I want those on Instagram and Facebook. I want you to follow so you can get all this information. You never lack anything in your life. From me, anyway, from Ultimate Self. So I hope you guys really enjoyed yourself. Before I go, I'll let you know there's a program that I made just for you that includes all of this, all the ab exercises, all the core exercises, all the stabilization, all the prime mover exercises. And it's all put together just for you to get to your ultimate self. So if you are interested, I want you to click the link below and go check out the website. All right, it's just for you. So hope you guys really enjoyed yourself. I see you guys next Wednesday as usual. Bye.